Western Hyundai dealers. Leading it off and at second base is Brock Holt with Mookie Betts in center field batting second. David Ortiz at first base. Hanley Ramirez in left field in the cleanup spot was Xander Bogaerts at shortstop. Alejandro Diaza is in right field with Travis Shaw called up today. He gets a start at third base with Sandy Leon doing the catching. And Clay Buchholz, of course, has to hit for himself, batting ninth. The Braves starting pitcher presented by New England Nissan dealers. It's been a good year for Shelby Miller, making his 14th start of the year. 5-2 with a 2.02 earned run average, 61 strikeouts, 27 walks, and opponents hitting at just 197 against Miller. His record at home in 5 starts, a 2-1 mark with an ERA under 2 at 1.59. He has allowed 24 hits in 34 innings, has 29 strikeouts at home in 34 innings.
The Braves defense is brought to you by DraftKings, and they are sixth in the National League with 36 errors on the season. Juan Uribe will be at third base, and Drelton Simmons back at shortstop. Jace Peterson at second, and Kelly Johnson, the first baseman. Left to right, Yuri Perez, Cameron Maben, and Nick Markakis, and A.J. Przinsky doing the catching for Miller.
Tonight's umpires are brought to you by Buick. Experience the new Buick lineup during this year's Sign and Drive. See your local Buick dealer today. Now the plate, Larry Van Over, the crew chief, with Ron Culpa at first base, Vic Carapazza at second base, and Brian Knight is the umpire at third. Where available, this telecast can be heard in Spanish by selecting the SAP button on your television remote. Enjoy the game.
Buenas noches, amigos.
Well, the rain here, the latter portion of the afternoon, really starting around 5 o'clock, 5:30-ish, and then moved into the start time of this game. And we had a couple of different waves of bands of showers come through. They had the tarp on, they took it off, they fixed the field, and then right before game time, the tarp went back on again, and the rains came again. So here we go. Brock Holt standing in to lead it off. Shelby Miller ready with the first pitch of the ball game, and that is in there for strike one, and we are underway. Holt hitting at .314 to start the game. It's the arms out of the way, but it's a strike, and it's 0-2.
Shelby Miller has faced the Red Sox one time. That was a member of the St. Louis Cardinals, and no record in that game, but pitched 7 innings, only allowed 1 earned run.
Sliced foul off to the left.
You can see that he's got a very good fastball right there at 96 miles an hour. The last one, breaking ball 12% of the time, and very, very few changeups.
The 0-2 pitch, and it is by him. Foul tip for strike 3. Shelby Miller strikes out Brock Holt to begin the ball game.
Yeah, that looked to be a cut fastball. That time elevated against Brock Holt at 88 miles an hour. He said a little cut right at the end, brings it back toward the middle of the plate, high in the strike zone, and the strikeout for the first batter he faces.
1 out, and Mookie Betts coming up. That's at .254. 6 homers, 28 runs batted in. Heading in the 2 spot for the Red Sox. It's a great series. 7 for 12 in this series against the Braves. Pops it up, foul ground and out of play. Comes in with a 5-game hitting streak into tonight's action. Since June the 4th, hitting at .353. Now more things for John Farrell to deal with today. Seems like it has been every day for John Farrell, and again today probably did not anticipate having his third baseman in his office at noon or 12:30 today, discussing something that took place last night on social media, but it happened.
Unbelievable. I mean, you know, we talked about a little bit in the open how when you're out in competition like that and you're trying to get hits, trying to make plays defensively, your team's trying to win a game, that you're on social media in between the game. I mean, it's not funny. But it's kind of like what's going on around here right now. It's almost embarrassing.
That'll send it to center. Maben going backpedaling to make the catch for the second out. MLB.TV Premium is the #1 live streaming sports service. Watch every out-of-market game live or on demand in true HD on over 100 mobile devices. Visit MLB.tv for details. 2 down here in the first inning brings up David Ortiz. Back in the Red Sox lineup and back defensively at first base in interleague play. Maybe came off the bench last night, pinch hitting role. He was 0 for 1 in last night's game. David 2 for 8 in the series against the Braves. Last night popped out to the shortstop, snapped a 7-game hitting streak. And Ramirez waiting on deck, 2 down here in the top half of the first inning. Ortiz to first, and it's Kelly Johnson who takes that high hop and tags the bag to end the first inning. Red Sox down in order. Braves are coming up. Back in Atlanta at Turner Field, bottom of the first inning. Jace Peterson swinging to the first pitch and lining a fair ball down to the right field corner. Peterson is headed for extra bases. Deaza digs it out, but it's a leadoff double on the first pitch of this bottom of the first inning off Clay Buchholz. Let's check out the Braves starting lineup. It's brought to you by New England Chevy dealers. This saw Jace Peterson, Cameron Maybin in center field with Nick Markakis in right. Juan Uribe at third base with A.J. Brzezinski doing the catching. And Drelton Simmons returns to the Braves lineup with Kelly Johnson at first base. Yuri Perez in left field bats 8th. And Shelby Miller, the pitcher, batting 9th. Jace Peterson at second with a double here in the bottom of the first inning. And Cameron Maybin standing in for Atlanta. Red Sox starting pitcher presented by your local New England Audi dealers. 14th start for Buchholz, comes in at 3-6 with a 4.22 earned run average. 81 strikeouts, 21 walks. This was the site of one of his worst starts in a Red Sox uniform, May 26th of last year. This is to third. Travis Shaw tested early, and here's out number 1. No advance for Peterson. Last year for Buchholz here at Turner Field, ended up giving up 6 earned runs in 3 innings, and he walked 8 in that outing. One out runner at second base, Nick Markakis, hitting at .301, no homers and 21 runs batted in. Freddie Freeman out of the lineup, leaving last night's game with a right wrist sprain and considered as day-to-day. And that is certainly news, considering he is very much an everyday player and had put together a pretty good stretch of games, but out of the lineup tonight for the Braves, and that's why he left last night's game. Apparently the injury took place over the weekend when the Braves were in New York at Citi Field and continued to play through this series against Boston until last night. This was the swing that Freeman injured himself on against the Mets. It was a wrist sprain. He had it heavily taped. Series against the Red Sox didn't look like much, but it was, and the first time in a long time, Freddie Gonzalez having to change his first baseman. 0-2. Slap foul off to the left, out of play.
Alexander Bogart's keeping the runner at second base. Peterson close. He does have 7 steals on the season, but he has been caught 6 times, so not very good right there as far as percentage goes. But Bogart's making sure that he's staying close to the bag.
Markakis going up to swing at that and strikes out. So way up with that pitch. It's the first strikeout for Buchholz, 2 down.
The Red Sox defense is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. They are 8th in the American League with 40 errors. Travis Shore at third base, Xander Bogaerts the shortstop, Brock Holt at second, and David Ortiz the first baseman. Left to right, Hanley Ramirez, Mookie Betts, and Alejandro De Aza, and Sandy Leon doing the catching for Buck Holt.
So 2 down. Jace Peterson at second base after leadoff double, still there with 2 down. Here's Juan Uribe, who takes ball 1. Mentioned Freddie Freeman, the streak which ended or will end tonight if he doesn't get into the game at some point. 234 games straight for Freeman. That started September 24th of 2013. Uribe fouls it off to the right, 1-1.
Now Uribe moves up to that 4 spot in the lineup. He's been hot, a 5-game hitting streak, 10 for his last 19. He is 0 for 3 in his career against Buckholz, but a guy that's a dangerous hitter right now.
In the dirt to the backhand went Leon, and it's 2-1. Sandy Leon catching Clay Buchholz. Clay's last win coming against the Minnesota Twins back on June the 2nd. To center field, Betts coming in, still coming, and he'll make the running catch that ends the inning. So Buchholz works his way around the leadoff double. We're scoreless. 4th inning at Turner Field in Atlanta. Shelby Miller has retired the first 9 Red Sox he's faced, second time through. And Brock Holt takes a look at strike 1. Holt struck out swinging in the first inning, one of 3 strikeouts for Miller in the game. Holt 7 for 13 now in the series. Fly ball center field, struck well. Cameron Maybin going back onto the track. It'll be off the bottom of the wall. So is he as he crashes in. Brock's headed for third base. It'll be stopped there. So a triple for Brock Holt, first hit of the game for Boston, and Cameron Maybin bangs into the wall.
A nice effort by Maybin out there in center field, but that ball hit very hard by Holt, and it's on an 0-2 pitch. That's way too good a pitch right there. No balls and 2 strikes. Gets a fastball right down the middle and hits it very deep in center field. Maybin going back, crashing into the wall. He goes down, and by the time they track it down, Brock Holt standing at third base. Looking at Butterfield to see if he'd be waved in, but no chance with nobody out. As Maybin covering that distance, going back to the wall, and the crash into the wall.
Now trying to deliver him is Mookie Betts. Great opportunity here for the Red Sox to strike first tonight. That's flied out to center field, and Cameron Maybin in the first inning. Chance from Red Sox Nation here at Turner Field. Large contingent of Red Sox Nation here in Atlanta. Two and 1 to Betts. First hit that Miller gives up, a triple to right center field.
Infield playing back, and the only spots that Holt would not be able to score, maybe third base, maybe first base, and certainly back to the pitcher, but second and short, he'll score with no problem.
Check swing, and Betts will be out at first base. The pitcher Miller spun around to make sure that Holt was still at third base. He was, and then he threw out Mookie Betts, 1 down.
Yeah, it's good base running. It's good base running at third base by Holt, where you know, anything back to the pitcher, you're told that by the third base coach, and that ball headed in the pitcher's direction, and that kind of take the chance. And a good adjustment, a very good adjustment by Shelby Miller to check the man at third base, then go to first to get the out.
So 1 out, Holt at third, and here's David Ortiz. David grounded out to the first baseman, Kelly Johnson, in the first inning. Stack it up defensively in the shift on the right side on Ortiz. They keep it on the infield dirt.
I'm curious as to why they would do that, because they're giving up the run anyway. With the 1 out and the man at third base. So why wouldn't they just go into their normal shift? Ground ball to the infield, the run's going to score anyway.
Strike called, and that's not a good call.
No, Ortiz is upset about that, and he should be. That ball's away. Now they bring the infield in with the 2 strikes on Ortiz.
Two and two. Brock Holt triple to begin the inning. Mookie Betts grounding back to the pitcher. 1 out, 1 on, and Ortiz with a count of 2-2. 50th pitch coming up here for Shelby Miller. Chopped, infield in, and Peterson is just going to go to first. Run scores. Took a look, had no play, so he gets the sure out in Ortiz. Run in, Red Sox lead it 1-0.
Well, Ortiz got the benefit, and Brock Holt got the benefit of the big high bounce. And they had him going on contact. He watched at third base. As soon as contact is made, that's when Brock Holt takes off. And because of the high bounce, no play by Jace Peterson at home plate. So the Red Sox really catch a break right there with the infield in, play contact, and get a high bounce.
One to nothing Boston. 2 outs, base is empty, and here's Hanley Ramirez. Popped up, foul ground. Kelly Johnson over by the stands will make the catch. Nicely done. Had to lean in over the railing. Red Sox get a run. 3.5 done. 1-0 Boston. Well, it's on to the bottom of the 5th inning. Red Sox have a 1-0 lead over the Atlanta Braves. Both teams with 2 hits. Clay Buchholz with a very long at bat. 10 pitch at bat before he struck out. And back on the hill here for the bottom of the 5th inning. How much do you think that bat takes out of Clay Buchholz?
Well, he likes a little time to rest in the dugout, taking his time coming out to the mound. But it is something that he's not used to. Obviously up there swinging the bat. And we'll have to see if it has any effect on him this inning. My guess is probably not. But I've been wrong before.
His pitching line brought to you by Ace Ticket. 4 innings, 2 hits, no runs. Hasn't walked anybody. Struck out 2. Pitched very well through the first 4 innings. A.J. Pierzynski leading it off here in the 5th. And taking strike 1. Pierzynski grounded out to David Ortiz at first base in the 2nd inning. The Pierzynski, Simmons, and Johnson in the inning. Ground ball towards second. Holt to the backhand. Good throw, and there's out number 1 of the 5th. Well, coming up after the 3rd out of this inning, we'll have stats, facts, and fantasy numbers from around Major League Baseball. So you want to check that out at the end of the inning. After the final out of the inning, stay with us. 1 out here in the 5th, and it brings up Andrelton Simmons. 40th pitch for Buchholz, and Simmons fouls it back out of play. Simmons, of course, a hit in the hand and a bunt bid earlier in this series at Fenway Park. Missed a couple of games, back in the lineup tonight. And jumping back out of the way of a pitch running in at him. Swing and a miss. Fastball 1-2.
Good movement on that two-seam fastball right there from Clay Buchholz. Wants to bring it inside, does so. Inside corner, just off the inside corner, and gets the swing and miss.
On the ground, left side, picked by Shaw, gets up and a good throw. Got him. Nice play. Travis Shaw.
Yeah, we think of him as the first baseman, but makes a very nice play on a ball that's kind of got top spin on it and getting by his glove almost. That ball was just about by him when he makes the play. Able to skip on one leg, get up, and throw him out at first base. Nice play by Travis Shaw on a very difficult bounce.
9 ground ball outs for Clay Buchholz in this game. 2 outs in the 5th. A little help from his defense, but a lot of stuff on the ground so far. Kelly Johnson batting with 2 outs, bases empty. He grounded out to Brock Holt at second. Now this one right back where it came from and into center field. Not sure if they got a piece of Buchholz or not. It was quickly back at him.
I think Clay was able to avoid that by jumping over the line shot back up the middle. Kelly Johnson now 2 for 14 in his career off Buchholz. It's a fastball and right between the legs of Buchholz. There he is, just completing his delivery and has to skip out of the way of that ball up the middle.
So a 2-out base runner here for the Braves, and it brings up Yuri Perez, flied out to right field in the 3rd inning. Braves calling him up from AAA Gwinnett today. At 296, 2 home runs, 20 RBIs in 20 games for the Gwinnett Braves. Led the International League with 28 stolen bases. This is not his major league debut. He made his major league debut with the Nationals back in 2012. I want to remind you to vote for the Amica Pitcher of the Week at NESN.com/Amica. Enter to win a $100 gift card from NESN to the Yahoo Team store. Towards short. Bogarts now backing up, goes to second on the force out that ends the inning. Through 5, it is 1-0 Red Sox. Let's take a look at the Red Sox box score. Brock Holt leading it off the top of the Red Sox order here in the 6th inning. Holt struck out in the 1st inning, tripled in the 4th inning, and scored the game's only run. Shelby Miller with 4 strikeouts, a walk, although it was intentionally. So far, he's only given up 2 hits. One of those hits, the triple by Holt. And a swing and a miss as Brock down 1-2. So far, a good pitching matchup tonight. Shelby Miller and Clay Buchholz. Mookie Betts and then David Ortiz as part of this top of the 6th inning. Holt chops one up the middle, and it'll be knocked down by the shortstop. Simmons ends up in shallow center, and Holt ends up with a base hit.
2 for 3 now for Brock Holt. Of course, he got that 4th inning started with a triple off the wall in center field. This time off the glove of the shortstop, trying to make a play on it. Can't do so, and Holt at first base with nobody out. Anybody makes a play on that with their glove, they're not going to get Holt at first base anyway.
Lead runner on here for the Red Sox in the 6th inning. Shelby Miller's pitching line is brought to you by your Eastern Lexus dealers. 5+3 hits, the 1 run, a walk, and 4 Ks. Mookie Betts 0 for 2. Swings at the first pitch, pops it up. Down from third comes Uribe, and he'll drop the ball and foul ground. Foul ball. Most likely an error, but a foul ball.
You know, it's not where the body is, it's where the ball is. And let's see where the ball is in comparison to the foul line. Foul. So the correct call made.
Error charge to Uribe. Holt has to dive back to the bag.
Red Sox getting into counts now where they could possibly put a play on between Holt and Betts. Another set of signs put down by Brian Butterfield, the third base coach, after the throw to first base.
Line down the left field line, and that's going to be a fair ball. Stumble around second for Holt. He will stay at second. Was probably going to only end up there anyway, but Yuri Perez gets it back in. Back-to-back base hits for the Red Sox, and that error looms large now as Uribe with that error, and we'll see a stumble at the end of this at second base for Holt.
That's a cut fastball that time that Betts gets out in front of now. That gives him a 6-game hitting streak. That base hit. There's Brock Holt rounding second. A little slip. Almost twisted his ankle as he went around that bag, and they're going to check him out.
Brad Pearson out there with John Farrell.
As Holt, he's kind of looking up toward the left field to see if he can go or not. It looked like he hit the outside part of the bag. It may have turned the ankle a little bit. Yeah, he got the back of the bag.
2 on, nobody out. David Ortiz, the batter. Swinging a foul tip. David is grounded out to first, grounded out to second. 0 for 2 tonight. Action for the first time for either side of the pen. Dana Evelyn.
Last time up for David Ortiz, infield playing in, and Red Sox playing contact with Brock Holt at third base, and he just bounces one, and which was very beneficial for Holt. There was no play at home plate, and that's how the Red Sox had their one run.
They've been getting his 29th RBI of the year. Brock Holt at second base. Mookie Betts at first base. Nobody out in the Boston 6th inning. Ball 2.
That looked like it might have been a changeup, and if it was, it's the first one he's thrown tonight. Take a look at that last pitch. Appeared to be off speed, and I don't think he's featured a changeup other than that one tonight.
Gave up only 2 hits for the first 5 innings. He's given up back-to-back base hits here in the 6th. Now Ortiz into right field for a base hit. Brock Holt will be stopped at third, and the Red Sox have him loaded with nobody out. 3 straight Boston hits off Shelby Miller.
Well, Ortiz cleans out a fastball, pulls it, and with nobody out, they're not going to take a chance trying to score Brock Holt from second base. The ball was hit too hard. There's that line shot, as you can see, and played cautiously by Markakis. But with nobody out, they're not going to send Holt from third base. They got to keep the bases loaded.
Roger McDowell, the pitching coach, out there. Well, it could be the T-Mobile game changer. Juan Uribe with a miscue, allowing this ball to drop off his glove, and gave Mookie Betts another chance, another swing, and Betts would get a base hit. Let's see if it is the game changer. Base is now loaded, nobody out. Hanley Ramirez coming up 0 for 2. 1 for 5 this year with a grand slam with the bases loaded. We're up to 91 pitches with nobody out here in the 6th inning. Call the ball. In his career, 6 grand slams for Hanley Ramirez. The 1-0. 2-0.
Now here's where Hanley has to really become a smart hitter. You know, narrow his strike zone down. Look for a certain pitch in a certain location. If you don't get it, you take it.
Fouls it back to the screen. A fastball.
That's what I'm talking about there. Now, he may have been looking fastball in, but not that far in. As this ball continued to run back in the hands of Ramirez in a very defensive swing right there. That's not the kind of swing you like to see on 2 balls and no strikes.
And Eveland has been joined by David Ardsman in the pen. Double-barreled action now for the Braves. Shelby Miller has slowed it down here. The base is loaded, nobody out. Ramirez lines it down the right field line, foul. Two balls, two strikes now to the Red Sox left fielder. .95 pitches equaling the average for Miller. Ways to go to get to his season high. Only 2 hits through the first 5 innings, but he's given up 3 straight hits here in the 6th inning. High for ball 3. Golden opportunity for the Red Sox here in the top of the 6th inning. Bases loaded, nobody out, already on top, 1-0. Saw Xander Bogaerts waiting on deck. Well, first, a bit of business here between Shelby Miller and Hanley Ramirez. Hanley fouls it straight back. Fastball up.
They're very fortunate to get a piece of that fastball. That was well out of the strike zone there. Up around the neck.
Ramirez on the ground to short. Simmons to second for 1, on to first for 2, but a run scores. In the back door comes Brock Holt. Red Sox take a 2-0 lead, but Braves getting 2 big outs there. 2-0 Boston.
Yeah, and they'll take that. You know, they still got plenty of outs left, and they're in a nearly impossible situation with the bases loaded and nobody out, and they get 2 quick outs and give up 1 run. Side down flip, plenty of time to come across the bag for Peterson, and then they get Ramirez at first base. So they are very fortunate if they get out of this inning, only giving up that 1 run.
Of course, no RBI on the double play. 2 outs. Betts now at third base, and a chance here for Xander Bogaerts. He has grounded out twice to Simmons at shortstop. Takes it the other way for a base hit. From third comes Mookie Betts, and the Red Sox take a 3-0 lead. Xander Bogaerts drives in a run.
Now that's what I love offensively about Bogaerts, the way he's playing this year, or hitting this year, I should say. He's pulling the ball, he's using the middle of the field, and he's using the opposite field. And any hitter that hits for a good average generally is able to do that. That ball is inside, an inside-out swing. Line drive to the opposite field. 3-0 ball game.
Bogaerts at first with 2 down. Alejandro Diaza has grounded to short, single to right, stolen a base. Barely a lead at all for Bogaerts, but Miller going over there. An even 100 now with 2 outs here in the 6th inning. Had Evelyn and Ardsma up in the pen for the Braves. So allowed 4 hits and 2 runs so far in this inning. It was a costly error made by Juan Uribe as part of this inning. Foul ground down this third base line. Gave Mookie Betts another chance, and Betts got a base hit. Piazza fouls it back, 1-2. Hits in the inning belong to Holt, Betts, Ortiz. And the Ramirez grounded into a double play but produced a run. And Xander Bogaerts with an RBI single. Buchholz waiting, now has a 3-0 advantage. He's thrown 48 pitches through the first 5 and very economical. 1-2 foul back again. One ball, 2 strikes, 2 down here in the 6th inning for Alejandro De Aza. Short lead at first for Bogaerts. And De Aza not chasing that. A fastball up and away. Chopped over the first baseman's head and down the right field line. Bogaerts headed for third, and he'll be waved around. The cutoff throw to the plate is going to be not in time, and safely into third goes De Aza. Bogaerts scoring from first, and the Red Sox take a 4-0 lead.
Now that's good aggressive base running right there, and coaching at third base by Butterfield. Bogaerts, first of all, getting a big base hit to give the Red Sox an extra run. And now De Aza picks up his second hit of the game. Another big high bounce that gets down the line. Now Markakis, very good right fielder, gets that ball back in, but they're going to challenge the relay. And they beat it. Bogaerts going back to tag the home plate one more time just to make sure that he got it.
So the Red Sox with 3 runs chase Shelby Miller from the game. The pitching change from Atlanta, 4-0 Boston. 6.75 ERA. And it's strike 1 to Travis Shaw. Cleveland pitching for the Mets last year had a 2.63 earned run average in 30 games. Started this season at AAA for the Red Sox with the Paw Sox. Signing with Boston during the offseason was 2-0 with 2 saves. 1.54 earned run average in 16 games with Pawtucket. Saw De Aza at third base. As Shaw chops one to first. Johnson's got it. He'll tag the bag, and that will end the inning. But the Red Sox score 3 times and take a 4-0 lead to the bottom of the 6th. 4-0. Red Sox have the lead. Pitch hitter Chris Johnson batting in the pitcher's spot. Johnson at .236 with a home run, 7 runs batted in. Shelby Miller had been 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Long wait for Clay Buchholz, doesn't mind. He now has a 4-0 lead. Red Sox getting 3 here in the top half of the 6th inning. Swinging a foul off Leon. On the ground, foul to the end of the Red Sox dugout.
That's interesting, Don. Every spring, the managers will say, well, we don't have a specialty catcher for one particular pitch, and it always seems to end up that there is one. And that's because, Leon's going to play every once in a while and give the other guys a break, and it just so happens that he clicked with Buchholz, so he becomes Buchholz's catcher, guaranteed to play once every 5 days.
Teaza coming in right. And making the catch for the first out here of the 6th inning. Get immediate care without leaving the ballpark at Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center First Aid Station, located behind Section 12 on the lower concourse. BIDMC is the official hospital of the Boston Red Sox. He's done a nice job, especially defensively. You read the numbers earlier about throwing base runners out and how many guys trying it these days against him. I guess once you build up your reputation, that works too. Here's a ground ball to third. And Peterson retired by Travis Shaw, 2 down.
It does make a huge difference. When you know that there's a guy behind the plate that has quick feet and a strong throwing arm, that'll hold a lot of base stealers at first base, because you have to be absolutely perfect on your jump and then hope that they make a bad throw. And it's a tremendous weapon to have. We saw it last year with Christian Vasquez. A number of catches throughout their career have been like that. And, you just don't test them.
2 down in the 6th inning for Cameron Maybin. Vasquez has been traveling with the team as he recovers from Tommy John surgery. Continues to work out every day. Preparation for 2016. The 0-1 to Maybin. To right field, and that's going to fall in front of Teaza. A 2-out base hit. Second hit of the night for Cameron Maybin.
I like Maybin. We don't get to see a lot of him. We've seen him now for 4 games, and there's a lot of things that he does well that you have to appreciate. Swings the bat well, sticks in his base hits, can run, can play some center field.
Here's Nick Markakis 0 for 2 tonight. Struck out swinging in the first inning, grounded into a 6-3 double play in the 4th inning. Breaking ball that slipped out of his hand a little bit high, a lot high.
Tried to snap off the curveball, but no snap to it. Just a spin.
In the air, but out ahead, deep and far, but foul. Markakis looking for his first home run in an Atlanta Braves uniform. It's now extended to 251 at bats this season.
Low target right there, but pitch up in the zone, the changeup. Of course, the changeup most effective when it's down where Leon's glove was.
That's that one by him. 2-2.
Cut fastball outside with a swing and miss. Stays out over the plate, does the cutter, but still no contact.
Sliced foul off to the left, still 2-2. Markakis talking to himself. Uribe waiting on deck. All the runs that scored for the Red Sox in the 6th inning were unearned due to the error committed by Uribe as part of that inning. So Miller, who was hit for in this inning, or actually was Evelyn hit for in this inning, ended up going 5 2/3, 7 hits, 4 runs, 1 was earned. As they check at first base, and back to the bag is Maben. Full count now.
Count goes full. Ortiz backs off. First base bag a few steps, not holding on the runner. Trying to increase his range with Markakis, the left-handed hitter at the plate.
Ball 4, and there's the first walk given up by Buchholz. Comes with 2 outs here in the 6th inning. Are you looking for ways to entertain employees or clients? Take them out for a night at Fenway Park to watch your beloved Red Sox. Visit redsox.com/groups for more information. 2 on, 2 down. Juan Uribe, the batter. He has fly to center and grounded to short. 0 for 2 in the game. Colts loaded up here with runners on. Uribe thought about it. Did he go? They check. Yes, he did, says Ron Culpa.
A little bit tough to tell from that angle. We get a look at the side angle, and yes, he did go.
Down 1 and 2.
And fooled completely on that cut fastball that time. Big cut fastball, almost like a slider. See that late movement on it? Big break.
Uribe chops it off the plate. Buchholz off the back of the hill. His throw, there won't be one. Infield hit for Uribe. That was in the air a very long time.
And that was almost as high as the pop-up he dropped last inning. This ball bouncing off home plate. Straight up in the air. Buchholz goes back behind the mound, but he's got no play at any base.
So bases loaded with 1 out. Carl Willis out there to talk it over. It's been a single by Maben, a walk to Markakis. The infield hit for Uribe that has the bases loaded for the Braves. H.B. Hood salutes the Red Sox Foundation for its commitment to 4,900 accredited charities throughout New England. 2 outs, bases loaded, and A.J. Pierzynski coming up. He is grounded out to first, grounded out to second, 0 for 2. And this year, 1 for 4 with the bases loaded with 4 RBIs. Braves trying to answer a 3-run top half of the inning for the Red Sox. And a 4-run deficit here for Atlanta. Pierzynski off the glove of Buchholz. He points to the bag and then flips it up over Ortiz. A second run will score. It is run down by Buchholz. 2 runs in now for Atlanta. He was pointing for Ortiz to cover the bag. He did, and then he tried to flip it glove to glove and flipped it right up over Big Poppy, and another run scores.
Yeah, I think it would have been almost better had he flipped it with his hand instead of trying to flip it with the glove. Buchholz says he's okay. Now here's the line drive back off the glove. He traces it down, pointing towards Ortiz, but then tries to shuffle pass out of the glove. I think if he throws to the throwing hand and gives him a shuffle pass, it might have been a better opportunity to get that man at first base. You know, pitchers have that big glove, and that's tough to control coming out of the glove.
2 runs for the Braves, second and third error charge to Buchholz, and here is Simmons. RBI credited on the play for A.J. Pierzynski. Error charge to Buchholz. Simmons 0 for 2. He's got him to short, grounded to third. Two and 0. In the air to right field, sending Deaza back. Front of the track to make the catch. That will end the inning, but the Braves get 2 back. It's 4-2 at the end of 6. Boston on top. Now Clay Buchholz gives up a couple of runs in the bottom of the 6th inning. Braves get a little closer. It's now 4-2. Boston on top as we head to the 7th. Third pitcher of the night for Atlanta, former Red Sox pitcher David Aardsma into the game. His 5th appearance without a record, has not given up a run in 2 2/3. Opponent's hitting at just 111 against Aardsma. Braves selected his contract from AAA Gwinnett back on June the 9th. He's not allowed to run in either of his 4 outings this season. And into the ball game here after Dana Evelyn got the final out of the top of the 6th inning. So he went a third. All the runs Red Sox have charged to the starter Shelby Miller, although only 1 is earned. Sandy Leon leads it off and takes strike 1. Leon has struck out. Last time up was intentionally walked by Shelby Miller. Ground ball to first, and it's picked on the half hop by Johnson for the first out of the inning.
Buchholz has got to come out of that dugout and hit for himself here in the bottom of the, the top of the 7th inning. Pitch count not that high for Buchholz at this stage of the ball game.
Well, 73 pitches through 6 innings.
Yeah, that's for him. That's a very low total.
He started that 6th inning at only 48 pitches, up to 73. Fly ball to left field. Over goes Yuri Perez. And he'll make the catch in fair ground. Ruling by the umpire. 2 down. Stay tuned following WB Mason Extra Innings Live for Red Sox Final presented by Uno's. TC Eck and Steve Lyons will wrap up the night across Major League Baseball.
Here's where you almost have to take a strike for your pitcher. You know, last inning he had to work very hard, and Buck Holtz gets an at bat in this inning. And now Holt comes to the plate with 2 outs, and many times you'll see this hitter take at least 1 strike. Give Buck Holtz a chance to gather himself back together.
Strike called. Rock tonight struck out in the first, tripled in the 4th inning, singled in the 6th inning. Now down to the count 0-2.
A good splitter right there by David Osmer. Bottom falling out of this pitch. Good late action on it.
Rolled over foul over by the Braves dugout. One-two pitch to Brock Holt. Base is empty. Not close. 2-2. Mookie Betts waiting on deck. Boston batting here in the 7th. And a 4-0 lead. It's now 4-2. Full count. It's been one-time closing games for the Seattle Mariners. Found himself in AAA this year to begin the year. Ball 4. He had been ahead 0-2, but Holt with a good at bat works a 2-out walk.
And now Brock Holt, if he can get a good jump with 2 outs, try to go early in the count. And if you're successful, you give Mookie Betts some pitches to work with and try to drive you in.
Betts has fly to center, grounded back to the mound. Last time up, singled and scored as part of the 3-run 6th inning for Boston. Toss to first and back to the bag is Holt. Betts swings away. Perez going back and left, going to be over his head and one off the wall. Brock Holt's going to try and score from first base. Here's the throw from the cutoff man, and Holt is safe. Red Sox take a 5-2 lead. He scores all the way from first. Mookie Betts driving it over the head of Perez in left, and Boston on top by 3.
Well, the Red Sox have had some big 2-out hits in this game. Bogarts, Diaza, now Betts. This ball's a rocket up over the head of Perez in left field off the bottom of the wall. One hops the wall. Brock Holt able to score all the way from first base. And Betts gets the job done. His 2nd hit of the night. Good slide there too by Holt, sliding around the tag of Brzezinski. The head first slide. Now they'll put on David Ortiz and take their chances with Ramirez.
Another double by Mookie Betts. Scores Brock Holt. Red Sox have a 5-2 lead. It'll be first and second with 2 outs for Hanley Ramirez. David talking to Pierzynski as this intentional walk goes on. Two on, 2 down. And Napa is going to pinch run here for David Ortiz and take over at first base defensively, as that's the night for David.
Get a little more defense at first base with the Red Sox having the lead here late in the game.
Two on, 2 down, a run in. Hanley Ramirez grounded into a 6-4-3 double play last time up with the bases loaded, nobody out. So while a run scored, no RBI for Ramirez. He is 0-for-3 in the game. And he will take strike one, inside corner. More action for the Braves. Left-hander up, Luis Avilan. Already seen Evelyn and Hardsman in the game in relief of Shelby Miller. A little bit high, 2-1. Swing and a miss, 2-2.
Highly seem fair. I mean, you get like 3 or 4 pitches up and in, and then the next thing you know, Hardsman going down and away. I don't think he knows where the ball's going right now.
Full count now. Runners can get a start. With 2 outs and runners at first and second. A full count here to Hanley Ramirez. Swing and a miss, and Ramirez strikes out to end the inning. But the Red Sox get a run, take a 5-2 lead to the bottom of the 7th. 5-2. Red Sox have the lead over the Braves. We head to the bottom of the 9th inning. Koji Uehara into the game for Boston. Uehara finishing Tuesday's win against Atlanta. 2 earned runs, 4 hits in an inning, and had 1 strikeout. Fifth appearance, 2-3 with a 3.00 earned run average, 13 out of 15 in save opportunities, 23 strikeouts, 6 walks. Opponents hitting at .225. Kelly Johnson leading it off here for Atlanta. He is grounded out to second base, single to center, and struck out. 0-for-3 with 3 Ks against Uehara in his career. There's a strike, 2-1. Went to the fastball to get it.
Yeah, it looks like Johnson taking all the way, making him throw a strike. Down by 3 runs in the 9th.
Popped up, foul ground. Shaw heading over towards the seats. Shaw will make the catch in front of the Red Sox dugout. Johnson fouling out for the first out of the 9th. Rusney Castillo has taken over in right field for De Aza, staying in the game after pinch hitting for the pitcher. So now the pitcher's spot would be 6th in the Red Sox order. As the pitch is in there for strike 1 to Yuri Perez. And a base hit his last time up, 1 for 3. Shows bunt, but takes it in the dirt for ball 1. One and two.
Good split by Uehara. Starts out of the strike zone, ends up out of the strike zone and gets the swing and miss. Ideal spot for it.
Popped up foul, backing out of play. Have a son or daughter who wants to learn more about baseball or the Red Sox? Visit NessonClubhouse.com. It has videos, games, and a whole lot more. It's fun, free, and easy to use. Visit NessonClubhouse.com today. 1-2 pitch. And he strikes out Perez. 2 down in the 9th.
That's just good pitching right there by Uehara. You know, a couple of splitters down, and all of a sudden that fastball at 87, 80 elevates it, changes the eye level of the hitter, and picks up the strikeout.
He's going to deal with an old teammate, Johnny Gomes, with 2 outs here in the 9th. 0 for 3 in his career with a strikeout against Uehara in the past. Popped up, foul ground. Back comes Leon, but he won't have a play.
Well, this day started with Sandoval and controversy in the Red Sox clubhouse. Hopefully it's going to end with the Red Sox win.
In the dirt, and it's a ball and a strike here. Johnny Gomes pinch hitting in the 9th. Swing and a miss. Really off balance. 1-2.
And that splitter almost acted like a slider, going down and away from Johnny Gomes.
A lot of Red Sox fans coming to their feet here in Atlanta. 1-2 the count. 2 outs in the 9th. Hey, struck him out. The Red Sox win. You know, the Red Sox winning the finale of this home-and-home series as back-to-back strikeouts for Koji Uehara picks up his 14th save. Clay Buchholz is a winner here tonight for the Red Sox. He is now 4-6, and the Red Sox able to finish off this series with Atlanta. Now head to Kansas City, but they finished this series on a very good note, winning the finale. We send it now to Boston and Tom Caron. Red Sox happy tonight, Tom.